Here with more, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. I think the court made the right decision. I think that, unlike the phony constitutional amendment, that they didn't follow the very specific language in their Constitution in Virginia, will not withstand legal scrutiny, and it will not be held. It will be held unconstitutional. This will stick. This is the final word.
Well, the Supreme Court issued a 6-3 decision. Justice Alito wrote the majority opinion. And in that opinion, the court vindicated the Constitution of the United States, and in particular, the 14th Amendment that ensures that all persons in the United States are entitled to equal protection of the laws, and also the 15th Amendment, which protects the right to vote regardless of race. And what the court concluded is that it is not permissible for elected politicians to gerrymander based on race, to draw a black seat or a white seat or an Hispanic seat, that when government draws distinctions based on race, that is contrary to the Constitution. I think that question is absolutely correct. As Chief Justice Roberts wrote in a previous case, it is a sordid business, this divvying us up by race. He also said the best way to stop discriminating on race is to stop discriminating based on race. And I think the court's decision here says our government should be blind to color. We should be colorblind. We should not discriminate in favor of or against any race. I think the Supreme Court is correct, and that is the result of decades of litigation to get these racial gerrymanders struck down.
Never mind the language, the constitutional amendment voted on in the Commonwealth of Virginia, they didn't follow the very specific process of amending the Constitution that would be necessary, a prerequisite, if you will, for that amendment to even be on the ballot, never mind the biased, abusive language in the amendment.
Yeah, look, I hope that is right. I think the Virginia gerrymander is brazen. It is an abuse of power. Virginia is nearly a 50-50 state between Democrat and Republican. But what the Democrat governor and Democrat legislature did is they took Virginia from a 6-5 Democrat state to a 10-1 Democrat state. They basically said, if you're a Republican in Virginia, you have no right to vote. We're going to disenfranchise you. And by the way, all of the rural Virginians, Virginia is a big state, they drew these districts that all go into northern Virginia so that their district is going to be controlled by liberal federal government workers. If you're in rural Virginia, apparently your rights don't matter. And every Democrat who came out for it, they had previously given all these speeches about the evils of gerrymandering. Understand, and this has been true for decades, the worst gerrymanderers in America are Democrats. You look at New England. In all of New England, you have one elected Republican. Massachusetts, the entire state, about 35% of the state of Massachusetts votes Republican. You know how many Republicans they elect? 0. California, already one of the most egregious gerrymanders in the country. They just drew it again to make it even more egregious. Illinois, the same way. And so Virginia, Democrats will do anything to stay in power, and the will of the voters doesn't matter. Anytime you see a Democrat beating his chest and saying, let's stand for democracy, their actions don't match up with their words.
That's why they don't want voter integrity. They don't want proof of citizenship. They
Exactly.
don't want voter ID. They don't want signature verification. They don't want updated voter rolls. North Carolina, I think they found 34,000 dead people on the voter rolls just this week. Senator Ted Cruz, thank you. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with Me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.